out right now. No, unfortunately, I can't do that, but Jean Grey could. This is my favorite superhero from the X-Men series, the cartoon I liked to watch when I was a kid. You know, Jean Grey was beautiful. She had long red hair and could read thoughts, which I, or any one of you, apparently, can't do. Now, how do we usually depict heroes? Let's take some from comics, for instance. Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, and the like. Men of action, fearless, brave, just, inspiring. It doesn't really matter that they don't talk much. Sometimes there's just nothing to say, and we do admire them because not only words count. However perfect they are, we do understand that these fiction superheroes are too ideal and, say, somewhat unreal. Still, we do have heroes among us. Without superpowers, of course, such as, say, the ability to manipulate the weather, telekinesis, or projecting laser beams out of their eyes. The heroes I have in mind are people working in emergency services like fire and rescue, ambulance and police. They save hundreds of human lives every single day. They don't go boasting about the number of lives they saved and were to save, but statistics speaks for them. Since the beginning of the 21st century, they have died about 100,000 people in fires alone. To this, we can add casualties at work or at home, deaths of different illnesses, in car accidents, and those awful natural disasters like earthquakes, tsunamis, or inundations. Think of Japan or Brazil. There are examples. Nevertheless, the amazing thing is that 90% of deaths can be avoided. Survival rates and recovery of the injured and the sick can improve dramatically if an ordinary passerby treats them immediately and correctly. So the necessary treatment provided, you might actually save lives, or at least gain some time for a specialist to come and do his job. You know, I first thought of this when a close friend of mine had problems with his heart. He fainted in the street. There was a crowd of hundreds of people passing by, and there was nobody, not a single person to stop by. Why could it happen? Because in such situations we usually think like, I don't want to see, I don't want to hear, and no, and actually I have some very important business to deal with. How many times have we behaved like that? And in that situation, my friend was left all alone to struggle with this unbearable pain in his chest. Fortunately, he managed to call the ambulance, although much later than he needed. Hopefully, he's all right now. Meanwhile, the number of casualties in Japan is relatively small, just for one reason. People didn't waste time speaking that something must be done. They were active and proactive, helped each other, showing true heroism. Another reason is that people were prepared, both psychologically and in skills. So please bear in mind, it always pays to be prepared. Stick to the safety rules. That's important. Don't cause accidents. Be able to give first aid. Be ready to give your blood. You know, I'm naturally squeamish of blood. And you know what? That week, I first donated blood. And as long as there is somebody who needs this 400 milliliters of my blood more than I do, I'm ready to do that again. And my friends went with me, so I think you can take other people with you. So, rounding it up, let me stress that the world needs heroes. And actually, that's the main reason why we make up these stories about some guys and girls with supernatural abilities. And I'm not asking you to aim that high as to save the world or to save a city, for instance, a Gotham City. Let's leave that to the Dark Knight and the Man of Steel. But you can save just one life or help those in need. That counts a great deal. So take action, do something, don't be passive, don't procrastinate. We need real heroes, not imaginary ones. Those whose actions speak louder than any words. Thank you.
Thank you for your wonderful speech. questions, please.
Thank you. Olga Smirnova. So, was your speech inspired by a true story, by the personal experience?
Thank you so much for the question. Well, yes. First, it was inspired by the story my friend told me, and I have a brother, and he actually saved a life in front of my eyes, and he saved a drowning woman. So I really look up to him, and I think that's worth noticing, knowing.
Thank you. Diana Zubari.
Thank you for the speech. What supernatural ability would you personally like to possess?
Well, thank you for your question. Just like I said, the superwoman I admire, she can read mind, and she has ability to, telekinesis, and that's what I would like to have, to be able to read people's thoughts. That's cool.
Nikita Stresnev. How would you help people if you could read their thoughts?
Thank you for your question. I think nowadays, because the world is so dynamic and full of problems, many people hide their feelings and problems, and sometimes when they want to be helped, they don't say anything. And that's how we can help our friends, family, our people around us, just by knowing that they might need help or anything.
Thank you.
Can I ask one more?
Yes, please.
We know you have mentioned who you admire, superheroes and heroes. Are there any people in your life that consider you to be a role model for them?
Thank you for the question. After this blood donation, I went home. Well, that's a true story, trust me. And I went home, and there was a friend of mine who was online. So I went straight to Skype, and I said to her, I donated blood, actually. And the first thing she wrote to me, wow, you're my superhero.
And we now proceed to our next speaker, Evgeny.